defendant claimed to be acting on behalf of all Muslims. This was not a religious crime, and it certainly does not reflect true Muslim beliefs. It was a political crime designed to intimidate and to coerce the United States.
Well, next guest was actually involved in the case, and he says the prosecutor is entirely wrong, and he can prove it. Dr. Sebastian Gorka from Marine Corps University was an expert witness for the prosecution in the Boston bombing trial, and he joins us now. Dr. Gorka, thanks for coming on this morning. So you say this is ludicrous, or characterization of the crime is not a religious crime?
Well, as somebody who was brought in to study the case and to advise on the ideology of the perpetrator, it's absolutely absurd to make such a statement, and perhaps it is done under political duress. This is an individual who had more than 2,000 pages of jihadist literature, videos, audio tapes on his hard drive, which has been disclosed in court. And also, the real smoking gun is the note that you've mentioned that he wrote in the boat just before he was captured. That is purely about a holy war and nothing else.
So why is it that the left, this prosecutor is hardly the first person, the president has done the same thing repeatedly, so intent on lecturing the rest of us that what is obvious, what we can see before our very eyes, is somehow not true, and none of this has anything to do with radical Islam? Why are they intent on spreading that propaganda?
They've made an ideological decision here in the administration several years ago to make the assertion that jihad, whether it's Al-Qaeda, the Boston bombing, 9/11, the beheadings by ISIS, none of that has anything to do with religion. This is an ideological decision. They've said it's about root causes, quote unquote, is the phrase they use. It's about poverty. It's about unemployment. Remember the famous quote from the State Department deputy spokeswoman about jobs for jihadis. This is an ideological decision that is bad for U.S. national security. When you have a man who writes in his notes, we look down the barrel of your gun and we see heaven. I'm jealous of my brother because I want to be a shaheed too, a martyr. Then you're closing your eyes to the reality, yes. And it makes it very, very hard.
Well, and it's also bizarre that they're doing PR for radical Islam because, of course, if there's one group that radical Muslims, I would say, probably despise most, it would be the secular left. I mean, if they ever took power, they'd be the first to go. Why are they defending these people?
I think you're absolutely right. If they ever took over, the first people up against the wall would be the secular liberals. You're absolutely correct. Why are they doing it? Because they have to. If you don't believe in religion, if you see yourself as more sophisticated than that, you cannot simply understand a jihadi warrior. So I don't think they have the mental wherewithal to get out of their little box and understand that there are people out there who want to kill you for God.
Yes, it's bizarre. If you don't understand religious faith, it's very hard to make wise decisions, I think. You, by contrast, have made many wise observations, and if you're interested in more of them, speaking to our viewers, you can go to Dr. Gorka's website, which is gorkabriefing.com. Dr. Gorka, thanks for joining us this morning.